Good evening, everyone. Good evening, graduates, families, friends, faculty, professors, administrators, and clinical preceptors. My name is Sam Mohammed. I am the Director for Diagnostic Medical Sonography here at PVCC. I would like to welcome you all. We are so glad that you are here tonight for our 2022 Diagnostic Medical Sonography pinning ceremony. This evening is about the success of our graduates. It has been my privilege to work with many of these hardworking graduates you see before you today. I must say that I'm proud of each and every one of them for achieving so much over the last 2 years. Hello, my amazing graduate, congratulations. You did it. Today is an existing day for you and for your families and for us. We have been with you on this journey from day one. It hasn't always been easy, but you put in the work and you did it. You earned a graduate degree during a pandemic. That is amazing. There is no stopping you now. I would like to take a moment and introduce our panel party on stage. You know all our graduates. First, I would like to recognize Dr. Frank Friedman, our college president. Dr. John Donnelly, he is the Vice President for Instruction and Student Services. Mrs. Nicole Winkler, she is the Dean of Health and Life Sciences. Lisa Burrington, our Clinical Coordinator for the Diagnostic Medical Sonography. Peggy Bizjak, our Sonography Lab Assistant. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Friedman. He has some opening remarks.
Thank you, Sammy. Good evening, everybody. On behalf of the College Board and the faculty and staff of PVCC, welcome to tonight's celebration in honor of these wonderful graduates of the PVCC sonography program. I must say, there are only 12 graduates. Well, there's 11, but one's coming. Now there's 12. And there must be, I don't know, 100 of you out there. They must be very popular. Either that or they all owe you money, and you're here to collect. I hope that's not the case, folks. We're really glad to have you here. It's been a couple of years where we've been unable to have groups like this face-to-face. I got to the point where everybody I knew was about 1 inch tall on Zoom, and that's about it. It's good to see people face-to-face, in person, live, and it's great to have you here to join in this celebration. I'm going to say a few words really directed at the graduates. First of all, congratulations, of course. But not just congratulations for graduating, congratulations for making a really tough decision a few years ago when you decided to enter the program. You know, our life is full of decisions. Those decisions, those choices determine what we end up doing. As William Jennings Bryan said, destiny is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. It's not a thing to be waited for. It's a thing to be achieved. You graduates made a tough choice. Think back to that day. I imagine you were full of a lot of anxiety. Do I really want to do this? Do I have the time? Do I have the money? Can I do it? Will I have to leave my job in order to do it? You had so many things running through your mind, but you made a courageous decision. And tonight, you're going to reap the benefits of that decision as you go forward as graduates and as you enter the world of work. You're going to reap a lot of benefits of that very courageous decision. Good job, hopefully good salary. Educated individuals in our world tend to live longer. They live healthier and happier lives. But even more important, you emerge tonight with that feeling of self-confidence, that belief in yourself where you can say, I did it. And that is a very important feeling to have. So, I'll ask you one more time. Was it worth the time, the effort, and the money? I sure hope your answer is yes. And I hope that all of your future choices are as good as the one that brought you here today. Graduates, congratulations.
Well, good evening, everyone. And most importantly, congratulations to the 2022 Sonography Program graduating class. You did it. Wahoo. And you did it in the middle of a pandemic to boot. Double wahoo. You deserve another round of applause, and I mean a good one. So this evening, I'd like to speak about 3 words that I hope will come to mean something to you in your sonography career. These words are perspective, perseverance, which you know a lot about, and hope. These words are meaningful for each encounter that you will have, especially with the patients in your care, as well as with your team members. Perspective. This is powerful. The way you look at something affects the way you feel and the way you act. And it's something that you have complete control over, whether you realize it and acknowledge it or not. What you look for, you will find. Always be aware of your current perspective. Is it positive or does it need a little tweaking from time to time? We sometimes develop a perspective early in our lives and often do not check to see if it still works for us now that we're adults. But if you want a more positive experience, then simply choose a more positive perspective. This may involve a shift in thinking and may sometimes vacillate back and forth, but remember that your new perspective will hold eventually. You may start experiencing some positive changes in your life, cultivate patience with yourself and with others, and you may see a different side of things. And bring this into your daily encounters that you have with your patients in the various places that you're going to be working. Grasp the idea of being in service to others. When you enter your scan room, remember you're meeting a person who may be in a great deal of pain or someone who may not fully understand why you're there and why they are there. So reach out, show kindness, offer your help, look directly at the patient when you're talking to them. This, in turn, offers opportunity to step out of ourselves and into an attempt to understand others a little better. Embrace other points of view. See a different side of a story, because we can all benefit from listening and considering other points of view. Even if we don't agree, this gives us a chance to listen and to consider what the other person is thinking. Live in the moment. I know I've been struck at how my mind sometimes wanders away when there are so many things grabbing for my attention. Multitasking has its advantages in certain situations, but not when something requires your full attention, like the ultrasound exam that you are currently performing. Life is uncertain. It can be uncomfortable, especially at the crossroads where you are now. Just graduating, accepting a job, transitioning into a new phase of your life, maybe even moving to a new place. Having perspective and adding hope to that perspective is key. It often makes the difference between resisting or accepting the challenges that are happening in your life. Embrace these changes fully. Let's now consider perseverance. Your perseverance as students paid off by keeping up with the challenges of the program in the midst of a pandemic, and the unique part that each of you played. Your flexibility with the various clinical rotations, some of them very far from your home, and your perseverance to keep moving forward. This provided you with the lessons that you learned about ultrasound physics, scanning principles, ergonomics, creating the best ultrasound image for the official reading, and how to provide good patient care. You learned how to do all of these things successfully. Your perseverance paid off. Additionally, the perseverance of others around you, such as the people sitting with me on the stage, your former and present educators, outside rotation clinical instructors, and your family and friends, those who provide encouragement and love, and all of those who helped to bring you to this moment. You caught what was thrown in your path, you accepted it, and you made it work. Setbacks did not derail you, and you have finally arrived. As you move forward in your career, no matter what happens, consider one important lesson that you can take away from all of this, and that is perseverance produces character, and that becomes the gateway to hope. Hope for your future and the attributes, which affect the quality of your work and advance your growth while you remain humble. Your leaders have done their best to empower you. This empowerment will be essential for your success in this ever-changing and challenging field of diagnostic medical sonography. I have just a couple of suggestions that I would like for you to consider as you begin your new career. Learn constantly and build your skills. Find a mentor. Join a professional organization like the SDMS or even our local Virginia Society of Ultrasound. Speak highly of your profession, foster open communication in your work life, and establish good relationships, maintaining accountability for yourself and for your team. Smile a lot and leave drama behind. And most importantly, love what you do. Your smile is your logo. Your personality is your business card. How you leave others feeling after having an experience with you becomes your trademark. And I kind of like this one. It's be your own CEO. Your chief encouragement officer, your chief excellence officer, and your chief example officer. And with this, I welcome you to the ultrasound community of sonographers, sonologists, radiologists, instructors, teachers, and even patients who you will meet, you'll work with, you'll care about, and you'll help to heal. My best wishes as you embark on this new journey of hope, of learning, and of challenge. You can do this. Look how far you've come and what wonderful things lie ahead for you in this profession. Thank you for allowing me the privilege of speaking on this very important evening in your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy. The Diagnostic Medical Sonography program is a competitive admission program. There are often 10 students applying for each seat in that program, trying for these seats. Then, once they are into the program, the courses are rigorous and of that highest quality to meet the expectations of the Diagnostic Medical Sonography Accrediting Agency. Clinicals are long and detailed. Then after all of that, there are several national exams that must be successfully passed in order to practice in the field of sonography. And all of this takes grit, determination, and focus on success. Ultrasound is unlike other modalities of radiology. Ultrasound is dependent upon the person holding the probe. It takes dedication, devotion, and practice for many hours to become a competent sonographer. We want to thank all those family members and friends that are here tonight because obviously you had a huge part in their success. It is the hard work over the past 2 years that we acknowledge tonight and celebrate our student success. Sonographers, your time has finally arrived. You graduate now. Congratulations. You have to put your knowledge and your skills to the test. Remember, the big test is when you will be alone with your patient and you need to give a decision about the patient health. You will be facing challenges and difficulties. Believe in yourself and be confident. A compassionate spirit sonography, like all healthcare careers, is essentially about service. Service to your patient, service to your community, and service to your profession. Caring and kindness are qualities all healthcare workers strive to emulate in their professional and personal lives. At this time, I would like to welcome Lisa Burrington. She will be joining me in presenting the Annual Academic Diagnostic Medical Sonography Award 2022. Lisa, please come forward.
Hello. The Annual Academic Diagnostic Medical Sonography Award is dedicated to recognizing outstanding PVCC students for their academic achievements, leadership, and service to our college and the community. Catherine Baker, Renee, was recognized and has received the 18th Annual Academic Sonography Award. Catherine is an outstanding student who has demonstrated excellent achievement by maintaining academic excellence throughout the rigorous sonography program at PVCC. She works very hard in each class. She encourages her classmates to do their best and continue to work hard. She also shows leadership skills in the classroom. Congratulations to Renee. We'd also like to recognize those students who received the Martha Jefferson Hospital Scholarship for Diagnostic Medical Sonography. The students eligible for enrolling in their 3rd semester of the Diagnostic Medical Sonography curriculum, and they are willing to pursue and give priority consideration to employment with Sentara Martha Jefferson Hospital, who offers the scholarship. And so Catherine Baker, please stand, Renee, and Bree Dibble were recognized and have received a scholarship. Congratulations. We'd also like to share with you that out of the 12 graduates, and they are just graduating right now, but 9 of them already have jobs at UVA General, Lynchburg Hospital, Augusta Health, Rockingham, and maternal fetal specialist. So let's give them a round of applause. And so every year we ask the students to choose one of their classmates to speak for their class at the pinning ceremony, and this year, Brad Dirth has that honor. So Brad, please come forward.
Thank you guys for coming out. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Doug, Star Wars Ty, Allie, Laura. Thank you for being my. Ooh, I've never spoken to a microphone before, but thank you for being my awkward scanning partner and coming out for me. Good evening, guys, and thank you all for coming out and supporting this class. And I'm so grateful to know these guys for the past couple years, and I'm honored to be up here and frankly surprised because you chose me. When I told my lovely wife that I got the most votes to come up here and speak, she said, "What, as like a joke, or did you lose a bet?" And no, I did not, but here we go. It's an important lesson about voting. Not many of you voted for me to speak, so your vote counts, and that's how I got up here. Not everyone voted. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Muhammad and Professor Burrington, who are awkwardly right behind me. So, thank you guys so much. You've helped us learn and grow and get better at scanning over the past couple years. Without these guys, we wouldn't be here tonight, so thank you. I'd like to thank my classmates for supporting me and supporting each other. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here tonight, and I honestly mean that. And I feel like we got to know each other so well over the past couple of years, both personally and anatomically, so that's weird to say. Yes, to learn ultrasound, we've been scanning each other. We know everything about each other, things we probably don't want to know, and so nothing too personal, but yeah. For example, we got to meet Jenna's friend, Rodrigo, and now thanks to her, we can say, yeah, I know a hardcore roller derby sonographer, and that's Jenna. Thank you, Jenna. We got to meet Melody and her wonderfully infectious laugh. Laugh? You're not going to give it to us? Oh, okay. That enthusiastic laugh saved us so many times when we didn't know the answer to one of Dr. Sam's questions. It was a good icebreaker, and thank you, Melody. Sorry, I wrote this down on a small notebook because I was co-writing with a 3-year-old, so. She's in the rainbow dress up there. If you want to say hi. Hi, Liv. All right, we've talked about the loud people. On the opposite side, we got to know the quiet people as well in this class. I'll start with Katie. We got to know over the past few years what a hard worker Katie is. If you didn't know, she unloaded trucks for UPS while doing this program. This is a job I did in my much younger days, and it's absolutely awesome that she was able to do that and complete this program at the same job. So, good job, Katie. Who else can I pick on here? Oh, yeah. Caitlin, you're the other quiet one. She's quiet at first, but once you get to know her, she is absolutely awesome. She's 100% supportive and very smart and an amazing team player, and you're going to do great at sonography. And it was an honor doing this program with you. So, page flip. Who else? Carly. Carly, loved getting to know you. You were an awesome, smart, fun person, and we got to do some rotations together. That was great. And I also found out you were a twin. So is she here tonight? No? Thank God. Presumably she's a better driver than Carly, because if they were both here and they both drive like you, all of our lives would be in grave, grave, grave danger. I don't know any of us would survive getting out of here tonight, so that's actually good news. Who else did we get to know? The moms of this program. You guys are all hardworking and awesome. Way to go completing this. Actually, during this program, Nadia Congratulations, Nadia. Welcome to new family member, baby Tucker. Way to go. Being pregnant in this program is probably the absolute worst secret to try to keep because we're ultrasounding each other for like several hours a day, and somebody's going to find that. So that was the plan. Well, congratulations, Nadia, and thanks for the past couple years. We also got to know the outdoor game-loving mom, Christine. Christine, yay! What can I say about Christine? She's overcome so much to get here today, and I'm so proud of you. If I could list the things that you've overcome, we would be here all night, so I won't do it, and we don't have time for that. So, way to go, Christine. Proud of you. The grandmas of the class are the other selection. Well, I was going to start with Allie. She's a grandma at heart. And the reason I say that because during class, Allie was always crocheting, knitting. I always get it backwards, crocheting. She would sit around and crochet, which I always thought was such a grandma thing to do, but she's also the coolest of the class, but she's truly skilled, and you're going to be an awesome stenographer, and way to go. You made some things I didn't even know you could crochet and make, so thanks for teaching me. Oh, here we go. The other grandma, our fearless leader, Renee. She is our president, and thank you for being that, and I feel like, I don't know, she deserves a round of applause for that. At least from us. Thank you for being our class president, Renee, and if you don't know Renee, she's awesome, and without her, we wouldn't be here today. She did so much organizing. She's not taking credit for any of this, but truly, she was awesome. And I'm also going to give her the Best Liver to Scan award because I did that, and I don't know how she won that because she is always the first to suggest getting margaritas after class award as well. So I guess it's genetics. Way to go. Congratulations. You're welcome. Seriously, though, thank you, Renee. Without you, I would be president maybe, or in an alternate universe. And maybe you would be giving this speech. So, who else? Bree. She's all quiet over there, but she's got a great smile on. More personal thank you. We shared our last rotation together. Without Bree, I don't know if I would have passed my board exam because she's an amazing study partner and smarter than me. So I was able to learn from her and slip by on my board exam thanks to you. So I know that's a personal thank you, but thank you, Bree. Who else do we have? Well, I know I mentioned Dr. Sam, but not only did we find out about him the past couple years that he knows everything about physics and radiology and is a huge Christopher Nolan fan and Michael Jackson, but thank you for the past couple years, Dr. Sam. Lisa, if you didn't know, organized the past couple years of our lives. Clinical rotations, competencies, everything. And without her, I don't know where we would be. And I can't imagine the amount of time and effort she's poured into our lives. So I have to thank her again. Thank you, Lisa. And I found out she's a huge Game of Thrones nerd, bigger than me. And that was a huge surprise. So inside. Oh, there we go. Where did All right, the last member of the group I want to mention is Michaela. She's hiding over there. I don't know if you know Michaela. I think we found out how strong and determined she is. She really is an inspiration for us all. If you don't know her, you should do yourself a favor and get to know the toughest person here in the room tonight. And the amount of work she put in to finish this program is, There we go. I have nothing else to say for her. Each person in this class chose to go into a profession of helping people. That takes a special kind of person, and that's what we have in this class. Thanks to everyone who supported us. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Congratulations, guys. We made it. I'm done.
Thank you, Brad, for the nice speech. Okay. At this time, I would like to mention that what's happened in the last year for this group of students. As you know, that the educational experience was greatly affected by COVID-19. There are many challenges that this group of students has faced, like disruption of labs and disruption of clinical rotations. But because we have the best response to the impact of COVID-19, and with the help of these students, the student was responsible for understanding the situation and facing these challenges. They were patient to accommodate the pandemic, and they did everything in their power to complete their requirements. You are amazing, and I'm so proud of what these students have accomplished during the most challenging times. You made it. You can do the job now without any help or assistance. You are up to the task and challenges your career will offer. Each of the students has written a dedication that will be read as they come up to receive their PVCC Alumni Association welcome packet. I would like to ask Lisa Burrington to come forward. Lisa will give you more information about the Piedmont Virginia Community College Alumni Association, and then she will read the names and dedication of the graduate. Students, when Lisa calls your name, please come forward.
Okay, so now we get to the good part where you get to see your graduate across the stage. Before we do that, though, I just want to say how much fun this class was to work with. And, you know, there was a lot of challenges with this class, as we said, with the pandemic, and so many changes. Like, they might have a clinical site, and then the next day, they might not have a clinical site. And, you know, I had to change where they were going, and there was staffing shortages that they had to learn in that environment and try to get scan time. And I see our clinical instructors up here, and we want to thank them so much for having our students there, even though they were short-staffed. And then just of all the personal challenges this class has gone through, some of them lost loved ones. There was a tragic accident that someone is persevering through. And then good things, too. We have a beautiful newborn baby in the mix. So, you know, it's a very positive and very flexible group, which they didn't complain to me about any of this stuff. Some of you may say differently. I mean, I did get some venting, but that's different. But I'm just very excited to have this group of positive, compassionate people join the sonography profession. So I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be part of that. So I'm going to read their dedications. These are things that they wrote that they would like to thank their family and friends. They're going to cross the stage, and Sam is going to present them with some College Alumni Association material, and also their pins. They have decided as a class that they will pin themselves together once they are seated. If you could also hold your applause, because I don't want you to miss what they had to say. So once I call their name, I will start reading their dedication, And then if you can hold the applause for that individual until I finish the dedication. And during the reading, they will be receiving their pins from Dr. Sahama Muhammad, and they will also be shaking the hand of Frank Friedman. So I would like to ask Dr. Friedman to come up to congratulate our students, and Dr. Sam, and we will proceed. Okay, Allie Ambrosini. Allie says, firstly, I need to thank my wonderful parents for their unconditional support throughout my 7-year extended stay in college. I'm so sorry that I didn't appreciate our home until I discovered that instead of staying there for free, I could move out and pay hundreds of dollars for a place in the city with fleas and no parking. I'd like to thank Dr. Sam and Lisa for their endless support and responsiveness at all hours. I couldn't have hoped for better guidance throughout this journey, and I truly do not know how they find the time to sleep. I'd like to thank my amazing friends for their support during this program. I know no one doubts me as much as I do, and I thank you all for the unconditional emotional support. My boyfriend Jack has been impressively kind and supportive these past few months. I have been quite demanding, especially when it comes to sending him to the store to buy me sweet treats when I am stressed, which seems to be just about every day. Finally, I'd like to thank my brilliant classmates for their kindness and generosity in giving me advice and words of affirmation. Carly and Melody deserve a special shout out for putting up with me at truly all hours of the night and during moments that I would not consider my finer ones. I never had a ceremony when I graduated from VCU in 2020, but I feel so much more accomplished and prouder of what my classmates and I have gone through these past 2 years, and I'm very grateful that this was the ceremony I was able to attend. Thank you, and I love you all, and know that you all have bright futures ahead of you. And this is for Allie Ambrosini. Renee Baker. Renee says, today I am filled with pride at having achieved this goal, but I am also overflowing with gratitude for the many people who have made it possible by supporting me along the way. I would like to thank all my outstanding professors at PVCC, especially Donna Hoffner, my anatomy and physiology professor, and all of my DMS instructors, Dr. Sama Muhammad, Lisa Burrington, Peggy Bizjack, and Elaine Nichols. I also need to thank my tutors, Steve Rothman and Tom Walsh, for their help with physics and math. Without them, I would never have made it into this program. I need to thank all of my clinical preceptors for their guidance, encouragement, and patience, with a special thank you to Angela Turner, Kelly Hollinsworth, and Diane Loving. Thank you to Marissa and Adriana for supporting my Airbnb. Thank you to Anne Marie, Megan, Christine, and Jaylene for supporting me with your friendship. Thank you to my parents and my children for believing in me, encouraging me, and always supporting me. A very special thank you to my Aunt Ginny, who has been there with me for every step of the way. I could not have done this without you, and I'm so grateful. Finally, thank you to Billy for being quiet while I studied, keeping the house clean, feeding me, making me laugh, and being my best friend and biggest supporter. This is for Renee Baker. Brad Dirth. I'd like to thank our program director, Dr. Muhammad, and our clinical coordinator, Lisa Burrington, for helping educate us and for all the coordination through several difficult years of changing guidelines and rules. Without their hard work and dedication to us, we wouldn't be where we are today. I'd like to also thank Peggy Bizjack for her involvement, support, and guidance in our program. Special thanks to my family, especially my wife, Eileen, for always being supportive and flexible with my ever-changing schedule the past few years. Without the support of my friends and family, I wouldn't be here today. I'd like to thank my dog Sally for enduring long days at home alone sometimes and only mildly destroying things in anger. Special thanks to all the sonographers at clinical sites who took time out of their normal workday to help us get better and guide us on ultrasound exams. And finally, I'd like to thank my classmates for working as a team to help each other get to this point. All the clinical tips, study help, and support to get here are greatly appreciated and never will be forgotten. Thank you. That's for Brad Dirth. Bree Dibble. I would like to thank my mother and my family for seeing me through this 2-year journey and pushing me to succeed. A great thanks to UVA, the Centera Martha Jefferson Scholarship Fund, my clinical sites and instructors, and my professors, Dr. Sama Muhammad and Lisa Burrington. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my classmates who were along for the ride. I look forward to starting my next chapter as a diagnostic medical sonographer with the University of Virginia. Thank you. Jenna Harris. Firstly, I would like to thank all of my instructors during these past 2 years. Specifically, Lisa and Dr. Muhammad have been incredibly dedicated to all of our success. Next, I want to thank my mother, father, and grandmother. They have helped me become the person I am today, and I couldn't have gotten where I am right now without your help. Finally, my fiance Shannon has been supportive for the past 6 years, especially during this stressful and rewarding time. Thank you for supporting me both financially and emotionally. Thank you for taking care of all our fur babies while I was at the clinical sites. Thank you for all your sacrifices to make this work. I couldn't have succeeded without you. I love you very much. That is for Jenna Harris. Caitlin Kitchen. First, I'd like to thank both Dr. Sam and Lisa for their support throughout this program. It truly wouldn't have been possible without you. Thank you to my classmates who have offered encouragement, laughter, and a listening ear during the tougher moments. I'm blessed to have had a chance to meet all of you and wish you the absolute best. Thank you to my friends and family who have been my cheerleaders from the beginning. And finally, all my gratitude for my mom and dad who have been my rock throughout this journey. Thank you for the weekend study sessions, your patience, and for believing in me when I lacked confidence. I wouldn't have made it this far without you. That's Caitlin Kitchen. Melody Marshall. I am so incredibly thankful to have gone through this program, and I could not have done so without the help and support of my closest friends, family, and my fantastic classmates. I'll always appreciate the opportunity to go through this program with my fellow new sonographers. I've met, learned from, and struggled with some incredible people. I first want to thank Dr. Sam for being unrelenting in his dedication to make sure that we were successful in our future career. I was nervous for a change in instructors one semester into the program, but I do not think I'd be nearly as competent as I am now without you. Thank you for joking around with me and being such a friend to us. Thank you to Lisa, who has been gracefully doing the job of multiple people for nearly the entirety of our program. I deeply appreciate you being a sounding board as well as someone to vent to me during clinical when things were getting hard or frustrating. Your patient demeanor in the scan lab as we were learning new exam protocols and ease of instruction was so very appreciated. Lastly, but most importantly, I could not have done any of this without my fiance, Brian. The last few years have been mentally and emotionally draining, and you've managed to constantly build me up and support me when I could not see how I was going to make it to the end of this. I am so thankful to you in many ways. I love you more than you'll ever know, and I can't wait to marry you in a few months. I'm so grateful for my experience and excited for what is to come. That is Melody Marshall. Michaela Miller. As I walk across this stage, I'm filled with gratitude and pride. This last year has been rather difficult, and I can't thank my friends and family enough for their never-ending support. I wouldn't have made it this far without them. I also have the biggest thank you for my two amazing professors, Dr. Sam and Mrs. Burrington. They allowed me to continue my education and supported me heavily throughout this last semester and made sure I got to walk across this stage. And to my classmates, thank you for the laughs and love you all have given these last 2 years. I was always told college is going to be the best time of my life, and my family, friends, classmates, and professors sure did make that happen. I am so happy to be part of the 2022 sonography class. That is Michaela Miller. Christine Myers. I would like to thank my partner, Doug. You have been my anchor throughout this entire program, tethering me to my dreams with love, encouragement, and unconditional acceptance. Your peace and grace and calm are so important to my stability. I wouldn't have wanted to do this without you. And I want to thank my children, Victoria and Morgan, who never stopped believing in me and reminding me that I can do hard things. This success pales in comparison to watching you grow into the strong, confident, successful adults that you are. To my classmates, I love how we became like family, supporting each other and rooting for each other. It makes me happy that so many of us made it to this finish line. Renee, Bree, and Jaylene, you ladies have seen me through some pretty dark days, and I will never forget their kindness and love of your beautiful souls. And to all my friends and my family, especially my friend Brianna, my sister Corey, and my parents who never entertained any thoughts of me failing, you help me wake up every day and choose to keep going. I am eternally grateful. And that is Christine Myers. Katie Simmons. I would like to thank my professors, Dr. Sam and Lisa, for doing an awesome job preparing us for future jobs and for making this journey so enjoyable. I'd like to thank my parents, my sisters, and my boyfriend for their endless support and encouragement. Thank you for being so understanding and always being available, whether it was someone I need to practice scanning or asking me a million quiz questions. You guys have been my rock through all of it. I could never thank you enough. Most importantly, I'd like to thank God for being my strength and endurance through it all. That is Katie Simmons. Nadia Turley. The past 2 years have been a challenging journey to make it here today, and it wouldn't have been possible without the love and support that I've received from so many. First, I'd like to thank my teachers, Dr. Sam and Lisa. Dr. Sam, thank you for coming in and taking over in the middle of our first year, all while in the midst of the pandemic. Lisa, thank you for taking on the roles of many and keeping us all on track. Thank you both for your time and effort that you have put into helping each of us succeed as sonographers. I'd also like to thank my boyfriend, Wyatt. Thank you for believing in me during the hard times and for celebrating all my accomplishments. Thank you all for your love and patience throughout this obstacle. Finally, I'd like to thank my mom. Thank you for always being there whenever I need you and helping me in any way that you can. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to achieve my goals and dreams. I couldn't have done it without any of you. That is for Nadia Turley. And then our last graduate, Carly Wagner. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Sam and Lisa for building my classmates and I through not only this program, but doing so in the middle of COVID. Without them, we would not be the sonographers we are today. I'd also like to thank my classmates for going through this journey with me. I love getting to know you all as we've grown as people and sonographers. My friends have also been a huge part of my support system. Thank you for always listening to me stress about big tests and celebrating with me when I passed just fine. I also like to thank my older sister and my twin. You guys never doubted me for a second. I'm so grateful for the nightly FaceTimes and how much you both have believed in me. Thank you to Caleb for being there for me this last year and helping me manage my stress and severe senioritis. Your love for me has been one of the biggest motivators and encouragements. I look forward to spending the rest of my life with you. Lastly, a very special thank you to my parents and grandma. Thank you all for believing in me and helping me achieve my goals. Mom, without you, I wouldn't be up here today. Words can't express how thankful I am for you and truly have been my rock. From the very beginning, you are the one who inspired and encouraged this journey. Thank you for prayers, comfort, and support these last few years. I love each and every one of you very much. Thank you for everything. And that's for Carly Wagner. And so graduates, now you can pin yourselves if you have so decided. And please give them a big round of applause.
Thank you, Lisa. It's so nice to hear from the graduates what is meaningful to them during this program. At this time, I would like to share some special recognitions. Our graduating class would like to take a quick moment to recognize our Dean, Nicole Winkler, for the hard work that she does behind the scenes to ensure the success of our students in all the competitive allied health programs. Jenna, please, can you help me to present Mrs. Nicole with a special token of appreciation? I want to acknowledge all our clinical instructors and sonographers that are present at our pinning tonight. I want to personally thank you for your time that you have spent with our students. Our students could not be here today without your help, your encouragement, and of course, your time. Thank you so much for all your hard work with our students. Please, let's give them a hand. Okay, please join me in welcoming our amazing Dean of Health and Life Sciences, Dean Winkler, as she has some closing remarks.
Good evening, graduates, and thank you so much for that special, sweet recognition. That was not expected, but I'm very thankful for you all. They donned my office on many occasions, signing out ultrasound equipment to use to practice, and so I got to know a few of them in that respect. So it was really neat to at least interact with them in some way. I do work behind the scenes, but my favorite part of the year is this ceremony. I am the Dean of Health and Life Sciences at PVCC, and I began my career, like many of you, as an imaging technologist in the field of radiology. And like the graduates who are celebrating tonight, we've made it through a global pandemic, multiple tornadoes, vaccine mandates, and what feels like a zombie apocalypse at times. I don't know about you guys, but like most healthcare workers, I am a complete and total hypochondriac, which is the worst thing to be during a global pandemic event. And it's true, however, my hypochondriosis began, according to my mom, when I was born, and she can attest that I have thought that I have had every single disease I've ever heard of. In fact, I've landed myself in the emergency room multiple times throughout my life because I was sure that I had a brain tumor, a neuromuscular disease, every form of malignancy, and inflammatory and destructive disease known to man. And on several occasions, I have even ran hysterical over to Dr. Sam and Lisa over the years to say, I have a weird bump on my neck, can you ultrasound it really quickly? So I remember one day when I was living in New York City and I was in my 20s and I discovered a bump or a bruise or something on my head, and I was convinced 100% that I had a brain tumor. And so I called my mother at 5:45 a.m., and this is how that conversation went. Hi, Mom, it's me. Do you have a moment? I'm really worried about something. My mom, sure, honey, what's going on? Me, I have a strange bump on my head, and I think it might be a tumor. My mom, you couldn't have waited until 9 a.m. to call me? I'm sure the bump would have still been there. Me, do you think I should call a doctor? My mom, I think you should call a psychiatrist. So my poor mom, and now my poor husband and family and all the people in my life have dealt with this part of me, and I chose to go into healthcare, of course, so that I can learn even more about the diseases that are out there that I had no idea existed, but I'm sure that I'm going to have in the years to come. However, when I entered the field of radiology, something different happened. When I became an X-ray technologist, I began to care for others, the patient community, those people in the world who were actually suffering from the diseases that I was so afraid that I was going to get. So what helped me overcome the hypochondriosis, besides my faith and my mother's threat to put me into a mental institution, was my service to the community of patients around me. I found that when I shifted my energy from myself to serving others, I became less self-centered. And it was an epiphany. So perhaps the most significant thing that I have learned is that when we choose to become part of something bigger than ourselves, we can accomplish anything. So it is my hope for each of you tonight to find as much joy in your careers as I have found in mine. And as you pursue and achieve your many goals and accomplishments for your lives, take a moment to look back and lend a hand to the generation following behind you. My parents and my mentors and the many students, faculty, staff, that I'm privileged to serve every day continue to show me that kindness and love spread around you. So resolve to spread the love throughout your experiences to those around you, because love is the only thing that hate cannot penetrate. So congratulations, graduates. I wish you the very best.
Thank you, Dean Winkler. As a graduate of PVCC, we place our trust in you because you earned it. Your responsible behavior, competence, and kindness earned this trust, and as you continue to work in the field of sonography, your accomplishment will shine on you to the benefit of our community. We are very proud that you choose PVCC to start your career. As you start to graduate, don't ever stop your educational journey. Continue to learn each day. Find out for other programs and other courses that you can continue to either gain additional knowledge or go on for additional degrees. There are so many opportunities in this field to continue your education. I wish you the best of luck on your boards. I wish you the best of luck on your graduation, and I want to say thank you from my heart. We are very proud of you. Congratulations on this very special day. We will miss you. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight, and I want to thank you for the support you have given these brand new sonographers. We would like to invite you all to come to a reception that have been set up just outside the theater. Thank you so much and have a good night.